AdamHarry back again with another BoLS unboxing. Today I have a very special unboxing for you all at home. Check this out. I have the new 17-pound monster box game. This thing is ginormous. 17 pounds. You can see it's got the crazy decal on the front, the crazy art on the back. This thing is huge. It's also our first game that's going to be rated MA for mature, so check that out. Giant game, 1 to 4 players. Let's go to the board and I'll get rid of the plastic wrap and we'll open this bad boy up. The box is open. We have the monster top off. As you can see, it's got that cool logo, monster from Kingdom Death here. It's crazy. Whew. Okay, so here we go. Keep opening stuff. This is its own box thing here. So, it's up there. Woo! There's all the miniatures. There's a ton of stuff. Nicely packaged. We got bases. We got, these look like a bunch of monsters. I'll get to this in a minute. All right, we've got Hunter track, it looks like. Some other things. All right, that's pretty cool. More stuff in here. Another track, it looks like. Tokens. Putting FFG to shame with all these tokens. Just kidding. We've got more punch outs. Oh, by the way, front and back, token sheet. Token sheet. Not front and back. It's all right. This looks like the board, which we'll open up. It's big, oversized board. Really pretty stuff, as you can see. Okay. It's a huge board. Yeah, trying to adjust it for the glare there. Pretty cool. And we have cards and cards and cards. These are character sheets, as you can see here. These are for items and stuff like that, Survivor stuff. We'll open that up too. The awesome rule book that we saw a little preview at Gen Con, full color. Some of it's black and white color, but it's all color. It's pretty cool. All right. And we just got a ton of cards. I'm gonna pull this tray out real quick. Hang on, is there more stuff? Okay, so these more character sheet stuff. And then stacks of cards. We have the special Kingdom Death dice, other stuff, oversized cards, regular card size stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me open up. This thing comes out. And we've just got some cardboard inserts underneath. So that's it. That's everything in the box. Let me lay everything out real nice and pretty, and we'll go through it all. Wow. As you can see, there is a ton of stuff all laid out. All the different miniatures here. Tons of cards. I think Adam Poots told me that there was over 500 cards included in Kingdom Death Monster. I mean, this is the result of a Kickstarter that took a couple of years to fulfill. I mean, it was a multi-million-dollar success, one of the first big, huge Kickstarter games, board games for that matter. This is phenomenal. Like, the quality of this stuff is top-notch. I would even go so far to say that this actually just set the bar for the top-end games. People are going to be comparing other board games quality-wise to Kingdom Death, and this one just set the bar for that. So this is amazing. To get started, I'm going to pull all of the models off. We'll go to the models here in a minute because I know everybody's excited about those. We've seen those before. I want to go through the stuff we haven't really seen yet, but we will get to the models. So I'm going to cut again. We'll clean the models off and we'll go through each thing kind of individually real quickly. There's a lot of stuff to get through, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we've reorganized everything. I've got the miniatures off to the side. Again, this is a ton of stuff. I'm going to go through each bit individually and kind of work my way back towards the top of your screen here. So we'll start down here. Starting off real quick, in this corner we have, these are your character sheets. So Kingdom Death Monster is kind of a mix between a board game RPG, civilization building game, all set in kind of a backdrop of a dark horror fantasy. This is definitely more of an adult role-playing board game campaign system. The game itself, you can play up to 40 years is what this track is for here on the settlement sheet. But you start off basically with your characters, and you start basic locations to go from. So this is your character sheet. You can see here it's got all your stats that you keep track of, your different armor, what you're wearing here, your courage, just stuff like that, your weapon proficiencies, your skills, and everything like that. You get a stack of these as well, just a little cutout, so they rip off, rip a sheet off. There you go. So there's that. We've got the settlement sheet, which I already kind of mentioned. This goes over the timeline of your settlement over the space of 40 years, which is basically 40 full game turns. So a full game, you could play up to 40 full turns. There's multiple segments in each turn. This is, again, you could theoretically play this in one night with some really dedicated friends, but this seems like more like a let's get together once a week for a while and play multiple sessions. I would not recommend sitting down and trying to finish 40 years in one night. I feel like that'd be a marathon game. You can do it if you want to. Just don't think it's a good idea right off the bat. Again, that's why we have all this nice paper to write stuff on to keep track of things to go on. So you have a ton of settlement sheets because, again, the replay value in this game comes in the fact that things change every time you play. Different decisions, different things can happen to your characters, to your settlements, and you can just keep going. The different nemesis monsters here that are going to attack you and attack your settlement that you're actually going to have to go hunt after a while. The different principles. Very early on, when your first character dies, you kind of have to make a decision. What are you going to do with the body? And we've talked about this in the Gen Con interview, so hopefully I'm not spoiling anything, but you have two options. You can bury your dead, which you get a bonus, which is a gravestone type of marker thing, or you can cannibalize your dead. You can harvest them. You get those resources back to the settlement. You get some short-term benefits, but you may go a little crazy eating people after a while. So that's one of those options you have to choose here as part of your principles. There's a ton of different things that happen in the game. Death, how are you going to raise your kids? What's your society going to be like? Things like that. So that's what these two sheets are. So that's the settlement sheet, character sheet. Right here, we have random events. So you can see these are settlement events. The settlement event deck. The first day, obviously that's the one you start with. And then I don't believe these are in any particular order, but the rules will reference which one you're going to look at and go through. So that's what these are. These are all the oversized cards from a technical standpoint. These are all oversized cards. Really nice printing on them. So they have kind of that beige color palette, which looks really good. So it kind of matches stuff here. And then just the different things that can happen, different events. We've got the Skull Eater settlement event. What does that mean? So different things there. So that's the settlement event cards. Move those to the side here. There's a lot of stuff. I'm going to keep clearing because I need more space. So, in this deck here, again, this game came with four big deck, or like regular playing card size decks, 3 equipment decks, and then a couple of other smaller some of them are a little oversized playing card decks, but those are for very specific things. But for instance, in this stack, we've got disorders and AIs, which AI is for the different monsters. This one here says Kingsman AI, so basically how that monster is going to affect you. But these are different disorders that you can come down with playing Kingdom Death monster here. So for example, this one's anxiety. I think I saw a post-traumatic stress one earlier. So these are negative effects that hit your characters and last with you for a long time until you die. So disorders. The AI decks, which we'll see throughout the game, these are a ton of AI options for the different monsters. These are actually multiple monster decks, I believe. So those are some resources there. So when you fight a monster, you kill them, you harvest the resources. This is a competitive board game, cooperative board game. The competition comes from the AI decks. You're going to be fighting, you're going to build your decks with the monster cards based off of this deck, which kind of tells you what the monster's going to have. So if I wanted to do the White Lion, which is the first big bad that you're going to go up against, it's got different levels. It tells you what cards to include in the AI. If you're fighting the hard mode or whatever rare kind of monster stuff, you're going to mix that deck together. So it tells you how to build stuff out. But you can see here, just look for, again, from a technical perspective, these cards are very elegantly done, I think. They've got a nice color palette to them. They tell you exactly what they do. Most of the rules are on the card. There are rules references in the big rule book, which we'll get to in a minute here, but different attacks that the monsters can do, different actions, and again, you build each monster before you fight it. It'll say what exactly goes in the deck. So that's the AI deck. Again, when you fight a monster, if you survive and are able to then harvest the resources there, you've got some basic resources here that your settlement can eventually get a hold of and keep for a while. We have a monster hide here. We've got monster bones, love juice, which I don't want to know what that is, monster organs. You got skulls and question marks. So just a lot of unique, crazy looking art. We've got more monster specific deck building stuff. This is the butcher. He's got a cleaver, some other stuff. So you can get gear and stuff off of them too. So it just keeps going. Like, each one of these stacks is basically giant decks of monster specific stuff. So each one of the monsters has different things. This part here is actually the specialization. So you can, if you want to be a master archery guy, get your bow on, get a little Hawkeye action going. You can specialize in bows, stuff like that. So this one is for club mastery. Maybe you want to go fist and tooth, fighting tooth and nail for literally close combat fighting. Rand weapon, shields, spears, etc. It keeps going on and on. So lots of different stuff there. Basic actions, that's again more monster stuff. So lots of stuff there. Again, these decks over here are more of the same. These decks are going to be, this specifically is when you're fighting the rare version of the Screaming Antelope, which is one of the big monsters. Crazy antelope with a big mouth on the chest that eats people. You fight that thing, you get resources from killing it, and again, you can harvest, if you survive, the monster for different resources multiple times. We have strange resources, so these are just random weird things. You got iron scrap, leather hide, that's a second heart. That's actually, I believe, from the antelope, so if you can kill it, this is what you can get from it. Screaming Antelope, and I guess a lot of the stuff too is random, so again, you're going to build the decks out. The book will tell you exactly how to do everything. I'm not going to get into the rules too much here, but this is the different version of the Screaming Antelope, stuff like that. So you can see them in the back of the cards. Again, these are all full color, very elegantly done, very well put together from just a technical and graphical design standpoint. So lots of cool stuff. Man, the backs of the cards too, each one of them has these crazy looking kind of insets with the different logos and stuff. Very intricate artwork there, so it's cool stuff. Just moving on here. Again, different attacks from the antelope. This one actually is really cool. This is the gobbled up. If your character, there's a special action the antelope can pull off, and then from this can actually lead to a story event where you can get the second heart from the antelope, but you have to be inside the thing before you can get to it. So one of your party members may get sacrificed to the Screaming Antelope so that you can actually rip his heart out from the inside. Because that's the type of game we're playing here. So, Kingdom Death, it's full of wonky craziness. Yeah, beautiful artwork all the way through. So, that's all those cards. We've got more stacks. Again, I'm not going to go through each one because that's part of the fun, is kind of the going through the decks, or when you encounter the first monsters or whatever. Each monster encounter is going to be slightly different. So, again, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to spoiler around too much, but you get lots of decks. And these are all individual monster deck AIs and resources for each monster. That's why there's so much stuff in this deck, because on top of all the beautiful models that come with it, again, each one's got their own special stuff. Now, we get to the items. Yeah, there's items you can use, you can craft from the resources you build, so that you gather. So you have a bunch of leather, you can make leather armor. You got a bunch of bone, you can make bone weapons and stuff like that. But these look like they're high-end weapons actually. So some of these here. So we've got the Rainbow Katana, which looks pretty awesome. So another cool thing about this game, we've got 3 different stacks of those cards, different items and stuff. We've also got, almost spilled those. These sheets right here, they're 4 sheets. The gameplay is 1 to 4 players with extra rules to play up to 6, I believe. But these sheets here are additional to your character sheet. This shows you how you have your kind of like paper doll from like a Diablo or something like that. your different items would equip in different slots and stuff like that. I'm just kind of laying out these cards, but basically if you do it correctly, your cards will actually link up with the little arrows and activate new abilities and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So that you have 9 spaces that you can equip gear on, and again, that's just an example, but that's what these item cards are for. They go on your sheet here, and you get 4 of those, and it tells you more additional rules and stuff like that. So great stuff. Moving on, again, tons of cards and stuff like that. This is the book, which I know you're all excited to get to. This one is 220 something pages, full color, as I mentioned earlier. I'm not going to flip through it because there is some, it's rated R, let's put it that way. So I don't want to go through it without warning you guys first, but we will have a review specifically of this book, but the book is included in the full unboxing. It's got all your special rules. It's got a comic as well. A lot of really good stuff in this book. The game is got some complications to it. There's a lot of rules, but there's a great glossary as well in the back. Kind of highlights all the specific stuff. It's actually not that bad as far as rules go, but there are a lot of things to go through. So, but again, we will go through this whole book in a separate unboxing here. So, tokens, gotta have tokens these days. So this token sheet right here is actually for your skills, like a modifier token, so plus minuses. These are all the minus side, and then these are the positive sides here. They're white, as you see, +1. So for instance, this is +1 strength, +1 movement, +1 accuracy, +1 speed, +1 luck, +1 evade, +1 toughness, +1 damage. Or flip side of that, if you're taking a penalty to those abilities. These tokens down here are your bleed tokens. They look like little blood drops because as you take damage, if you end up with 5 of those, you're dead. Your character's axed from the campaign, and your buddies are going to eat your body just because it's probably better for the settlement. I don't know. Depends on your settlement. So it's a ton of cool stuff here. That's what those tokens are for. And then there's different lanterns and stuff like that, color-coded for different game effects. Over here we've got more tokens. These are all special tokens, which I'm not 100% sure what they're for yet because I haven't looked through the rule book, but you've got different monster collections, stuff like that. So I'm kind of excited. Part of the fun for me is when I get to play this game is finding out what a lot of the stuff does. But from a technical standpoint, again, these are beautifully done. They're in the punch-out kind of cardboard stuff, perforated, so easily punched out, but they look really cool, and I can't wait to find out what they do in the game. So lots of really little details and very impressive. So pretty cool stuff. Over here up in the top corner, we've got locations. These are location cards. You start here, the Lantern Horde, your location for your settlement, and then you can go through different things. Eventually, it looks like the exhausted Lantern Horde happens, and then, yeah, just different stuff happens throughout the game, different settlements you come upon, different weird dark fantasy setting, cool stuff. So, again, that's the location. These are big, oversized cards, are really cool. We've got these sets of cards, which I want to show off real quick. We've got like an armor sets and then just basic stuff like that. These cards, I guess, are like placeholder markers where you would put your armor sets down or whatever. And then you've got different locations, I guess, that your settlement's probably going to unlock or open up for you. So you have like the barber surgeon here. We've got a blacksmith. We've got a mask maker. I can't read that one upside down. Plumbery, skinnery, stuff like that. So these are different locations for your settlement to unlock. And they are on these all black cards. Kind of creepy, but I like them. They're also kind of classy in a creepy kind of Kingdom of Death way. So I like that. So I've set those to the side here. You saw me pull these out. These are the big, long kind of tracks, huge tracts of land. No, I'm just kidding. This is kind of how a turn goes in the game. So you've got your initial setup here, survivor's return, usually from a hunt or what have you, but the initial setup here. Gain endeavors, draw settlement event, update death count because people are going to die. Let's see, update timeline. Again, that's when you go to your bookkeeping mode with the settlement stuff. We've got develop, so you're going to build stuff, and this is the whole settlement, location, innovation, stuff like that. The innovation deck goes here. We've got prepare, can't read upside down, something, survivors. So it just walks you through the whole turn of a game. On the flip side, this is the hunting track. So this is where your guys start. I believe somewhere along the line is where the monster's going to be, somewhere along this track, and you've got to fight them when you come upon them. So that's what this whole track is for. So that's just kind of a neat innovation from Kingdom Death here. We've got another one here. This is the AI monster kind of deck thing. So yeah, AI deck goes here, discarded deck for monster actions, stuff like that, basic attacks, kind of works out. Just a quick layout for you. It's all explained in the rule book. And then of course, we've kept everything on top of the really awesome board. If you could zoom in on this real quick, show the folks at home exactly what we're looking at here. So you can see just the board. This is where a lot of the fighting is going to go down. It is a tile-based combat, as you see here. The movement rules, everything are in the book. I don't want to quote you wrong here. I don't believe you can move diagonally. I think everything is square to square. You can't move diagonals. So from what I remember of the Gen Con demo. But the artwork on this board is really phenomenal here. There's, I don't know how to describe it. There's faces, maybe they're masks or something like that, all over the board. And then you've got this center dais of just this round dais here of stuff going on. So just all looks really cool, very impressive artwork wise. Also these the tiles are actually numbered on the sides. I know you probably can't see that coming down here. They're numbered out 1 to 22 and then from A to P. So it gives you an idea of how big the board is. So pretty cool board design. So if we can zoom back out. So yeah. So that's everything from a technical standpoint that comes in the box. I'm going to lay out the miniatures at this point, and we'll take a quick look at those. I know we're running short of time, so we'll open up the miniatures. I'll go through those real quick. We've seen a lot of those, but they are gorgeous, so let's take a look. Here we are with Kingdom Death monster models. If you want to see some close-up stills, we have a bunch on the website. If you want to see how they're actually put together, you can go right there to the miniature assembly build.kingdomdeath.com. So that actually shows you exactly how to build all those. So it comes in the box. That said, a ton of models come with this game. That's no surprise here. These are some of the highest quality models I've seen, model kits I've seen in a very long time. Very impressive the way everything's laid out. So let me try to run through this stuff. So we'll start here with the prologue kit. You can see here, this is for the white line that you start with. And then it's also got a guy at the cape, so crazy stuff there. I think the butcher's included with this as well. So white lion, butcher, and another monster, and some basic heroes. Starting with basic clothing. So moving on from there, we've also got, this is the Kingsman, this little guy right here. He's got a cape and a scabbard, and I'm kind of dumbfounded because there's so much stuff here, so much detail, so many things to go through. But basically for each monster comes an accessory kit that comes with them. For instance, right here, this big giant kit in the middle here, this is the Phoenix kit. So you can see the crazy big wings that come with it. This is a truly awesome looking model. From a technical standpoint, the material is kind of it's plastic, but the detail on it is amazing. It reminds me of almost of a resin in some ways. It's definitely a hard plastic for most of this stuff. But that's the Phoenix kit with the very intricate wings. Hobbyist painters are going to have a field day putting this bad boy together and painting him up. So we've got that. The Phoenix also has Phoenix accessory sprues that come with it. So once you defeat the Phoenix, these sprues down here are Phoenix kits. So we've got different headgear, as you can see down here, different accessories that the heroes can, or the survivors can equip, different weapons and stuff over here. This is the Screaming Antelope, which we saw at Gen Con, the big an antelope with a big mouth for a chest that'll munch on your heroes. And once you defeat that antelope, you also have access to the Antelope Screaming kits, which you can see here. Different weapons, different gear, different hide armors, things like that, swords, extra accessories there. Over here, we've got the Lantern kit, which is actually 2 separate kits. Again, more hardware that your heroes can be equipped with. We've got some giant stone swords here, kind of broadswords, and then the big daikatana looking massive two-hander swords. So pretty cool things going on. But again, just looking at this kit, there's so many really cool little details. Each one of these sprues is just dripping with detail and really awesome sculpts to go along with it. So putting these together is going to stretch your modeling and painting ability for sure. Just from the glance that you have here, there's a ton of models to go with this kit, but building each one out, highly customizable. Every one of these kits, like with the hands, there's multiple positions for each hand, so you truly customize your survivors pretty much however you want. Real quick too, comes with a bag of bases, all the different size bases for your heroes and stuff like that, and they have different inserts. I'm actually going to pull one out real quick. It's really cool. They have these really nice big round base, and then these really cool skull inserts. Or these are actually faces, like clay masks or something. So these little inserts that go on top as well. So we'll get some close-up shots of that too. But man, there's just so much stuff in this kit. There's a rawhide kit here, and then let's see, man, antelope, screaming antelope kit, lantern kit, rawhide kit. This one is the leather kit, that's right, it was. And then we have the lion kit that goes with the white lion. Lion kit here, more accessories for killing the lion. Let's see, that's the fur kit. So again, as you kill animals and gather resources and stuff like that, you can craft your own gear. It's part of the game. It's part of the fun of the game. And then this one here is actually the Watcher kit, which is that creepy thing. I don't know if you guys remember from the previews, but it just looks like a bunch of cloaks strapped together with a bunch of lanterns coming off of them. Really cool, awesome kit. Very beautiful models. Again, this will stretch your hobby muscles to the max. And if you are a hobbyist painter, that's what you do, that's your thing, you're gonna love painting up these models because they're so beautiful. Like, I've seen some stuff that we've got Gentleman working on. We've seen some of the stuff from Kickstarter, some of those previews, and just knocks the stuff out of the park. So very cool stuff. Also, Kingdom Death comes with its own special dice. You have your basic D10s, which if you have some D10s at home, you can use those, but they also have some special D6s. I believe those are hit location dice. That's it for the miniatures for Monster Kingdom Death. At this point, that's pretty much everything we've covered in the box. We've covered all the cards, all the materials, the board, the extra sheets of paper that come with it, everything you need to do to play the game. We've got the rulebook. Again, we'll have the whole rulebook review. That's going to get its own special video. But as you can see, a ton of stuff in the box. Really awesome. I can't wait to get my modeling stuff out to put these bad boys together. So, hope you enjoyed it. That is going to be it for this unboxing. This is AdamHarry from BoLS signing off. Have a good one.